Welcome to Louisville, Kentucky, where the final chapter of the NCAA women's volleyball season will be written and a champion will be crowned. Can Elena Bergsma, the AVCA National Player of the Year, and the Oregon Ducks capture the first title in school history? Or might the Texas Longhorns and All-American Bailey Webster bring a second trophy back to Austin? Who will be crowned a champion tonight? You're watching the NCAA Volleyball Championship match presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. Two teams left standing tonight for the national championship. It's the 5-seed Oregon playing in the finals for the first time. They knocked out the top seed Penn State in the semis to get here against the 3-seed Texas. A winner in 5 sets over Michigan in the semis, trying to erase some bad memories, some bad finishes in recent NCAA tournaments, and looking to take home the trophy here tonight. And welcome to Louisville, Kentucky. I'm Beth Mowens, along with 3-time national champion Karch Kiraly. And Karch, Texas playing tonight with, amongst other things, as their head coach Jared Elliott described it, a big old gorilla on their back with some tough losses here in recent years. To get rid of him, they got to beat the National Player of the Year in the Ducks tonight.
And as soon as she arrived on campus, Elena Bergsma was indoctrinated to a new level of hard work by upperclassmen who had it with losing. She embraced the challenge, and she has her Ducks here in their first ever national final.
She won the National Player of the Year award yesterday for the Texas Longhorns. They've got a couple of All-Americans on their side, the Haley and Bailey show.
The Comet twins. Haley and Bailey jumped so high. They're the two most physical pair of left side hitters in the country, routinely going over the block, and that'll be Oregon's challenge. Can they contain these great weapons?
The athletic advantage to Texas, the speed, just like Duck football, goes to Duck volleyball tonight. Two teams left standing, just one trophy available to take home from Louisville. When we come back, the third member of our team, Maria Taylor, will show us how the Horns might hook them tonight.
Americans believe.
The NCAA Women's Volleyball Championship is presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. We'll pick you up.
Welcome back here in Louisville, the KFC Yum Center for the national championship. The head coach for the Ducks in his 8th season after a stint at Texas. Now trying to get a national championship at Oregon.
Elena Bergsma from Chandler, Arizona.
Elizabeth Brenner from Portland, Oregon.
Catherine Fisher from Los Altos, California.
Kenise Finley from Fort Collins, Colorado.
Lauren Plum from San Diego, California.
Haley Jacob from League City, Texas. Ariana Williams from Riverside, California.
Jared Elliott in his 12th season with the Longhorns. They were in the finals in '09, came up short. He's got another chance tonight.
Haley Eckerman, Waterloo, Iowa. Hook 'em.
Shadera McNeil, San Diego, California.
Hi, I'm Bailey Webster from Baltimore, Maryland.
Kat Bell from Mesquite, Texas.
Hi, I'm Molly McCage from Spring, Texas.
Hi, my name is Hannah Allison, and I'm from Siloam Springs, Arkansas.
Sarah Palmer, Kailua, Hawaii. Hook 'em.
Here are the rules for college volleyball. We will play best 3 of 5 for the championship. That 5th set will be just to 15. The rest are to 25. Have to win by 2. And you've got 15 substitutions per set. And that is our cue to bring in Maria Taylor.
Well, after defeating Michigan in the national semifinal, Jarrett Elliott, the head coach of the Texas Longhorns, said that he wanted to make an adjustment. He wants to get his right sides and middles involved early in order to create balance on offense and really disrupt this Oregon defense. Now, Jim Moore, the head coach of the Ducks, says the key tonight will be serving tough, varying the serve location, but not only that, being resilient and having composure after Texas makes the big play.
Thank you very much, Maria. The Oregon Ducks in the dark green, Texas in the white, black, and burnt orange. And the first serve of the national championship, and the first point for Bailey Webster and the Longhorns. Kat Bell back to serve, the sophomore out of Mesquite, Texas. An all Big 12 performer and really the heart and soul of this team, along with Shadair McNeil. And the first swing for the National Player of the Year, Elena Bergsma, goes wide. Bell did not play in the NCAA tournament last year, had a late season knee injury. The back set, Brenner into the block of Webster, point Oregon.
One of the fun things to watch tonight, Bev, will be the speed of this Oregon offense. Wide open offense with their gunslinging setter, Lauren Plum, versus the very high left side offense of Texas. Very great contrast.
And that, of course, was a point Texas. Now the point for Oregon and their first point in the championship match. The Ducks and Liz Brenner, the sophomore out of Portland, Oregon, soon to be a 5-sport star. She's played 3 at Oregon. She'll add track and field to her resume in the spring.
The only thing she won't do or can't do, well, won't do, is soccer. She just doesn't like to run. Anything else, she's ready for it.
She will throw the weights with the track team in the fall. The back set, and Bergsma has it sent right back to her again. Good block, Texas.
So far, you can see a lot of keying on Bergsma. Texas, the big priority is slowing her down. And meanwhile, Oregon's been trying to slow Bailey Webster down with no success, getting their middle blocker right in front of her.
Lauren Plum, the setter out of Poway, setting one of her middles. Kenny Spinley, the lone freshman out there in their starting rotation. It is a very experienced in terms of class for the Oregon Ducks. They've got 3 seniors in the lineup. And now make it a 4th as Kawasaki comes on to serve. The back set here, Shadair McNeil was terrific in the semifinal win. Bergsma tries to go deep with it. Here's a swing for Webster. She'll tip. The bump out to Bergsma, and not a good one.
Not a very good choice there by Kawasaki. She forgot she's not the libero. She doesn't have a different color jersey on. She could have set that ball overhead. It's not allowed for liberos, but she has the same color. Puts it out of bounds.
And that opposite colored jersey will now come on as Kat Brooks, the freshman from Honolulu, will serve for Texas. Plum looking to Kat Fisher, one of the seniors. Point Oregon.
Those left sides for Oregon have been taking turns having big games. About a week ago, 26 kills for Brenner, and then the next night, Kat Fisher was very good in winning that regional final in Omaha, near home territory against Nebraska.
And really, Coach, one of the big reasons why both of these teams have survived thus far through the tournament has been their balance. They've had a bunch of different players who have been able to score for them, not just the superstars. The block again, and right now, Texas owning the net, Coach.
Wow, 2 blockers, and that play was so fast, the Oregon players couldn't even get over there. They're totally keying on that play. 2 blockers and nobody to help Williams when she gets blocked. Nice read for Texas.
Sent it out wide to Fisher, dug up by Sarah Palmer. This is McNeil. Good get by Jacob. Bergsma has to play it from behind the line. Looking to Fisher this time, trying to go deep corner. Doesn't get it. Point Texas. Oregon has started slow in both the semis and the regional final. In fact, they dropped the first set in both of those matches. and then came back to win. And so far, the Longhorns taking advantage. 3 kills on 4 swings already for the All-American Bailey Webster.
San Diego.
Oregon is playing for the national championship on Saturday night for the first time in school history. 9-3, Texas with the lead over Oregon on the strength of 3 blocks, and Oregon hitting negative. But, Kirch, let's take a look now at the Northwestern Mutual game plan for success for the Ducks and Horns.
We talked about that wide open offense for Oregon. They want to spread it from sideline to sideline, confuse those Texas blockers, but to do that they have to pass the rock. They have to control the serves of Texas. For Texas, they want to get the ball, as we talked about, not just to Webster and Eckerman on the left side, but deal it out to McNeil on the right, keep everybody honest, and they want to hit deep over the block. They were dragging it down into the block at times against Michigan and getting some stuffs when they shouldn't be. When you're up at 11 feet up in the stratosphere, you can go over anybody, but don't drag it down and hit straight down.
Plum dumps for the point as Kat Fisher goes back to serve. The net in women's volleyball, 7 feet 4 inches. You've got a couple of Longhorns that are touching over 10 feet, well above that net. They will try and utilize their size. For the Ducks, it's got to be their speed and their transition game tonight.
So far, Oregon looking a little out of sorts, and that was not a great choice by Kat Fisher, who has been so solid for this team. Jim Moore loves having her on this team. A lot of people have told her over the years and told him over the years, you can't win with her on the court, and here they are in the final. She does make a good pass, and they get a better swing, but what an up.
Good D by the Longhorns. Plum goes to Brenner, and another block. That's number 4 already for Texas.
Up to 11 points. That time the blocker was setter Hannah Allison, who's not known for her blocking compared to some of the other bigger blockers that they have, but that ball went right into her inside hand.
They're 6'3" and 6'3" at the net. Williams gets it over the top of it, but good coverage by Brooks. Free ball, Oregon. Plum, the slide. Williams, it's stuffed again. Brenner had to try and finesse it. Outside, Brenner off the tape, and also off the antenna. Point Texas.
Well, they finally beat the block, but the referee, the linesperson, said that it hit the antenna. That's the vertical extension of the sideline. It's in red and white there, the pin, and yes, it does hit it. It can't hit it. It has to go clear inside, and then it's a good play.
Good call by the official. Off the head and down, and a good swing there by Brenner. Let's see if Oregon can get something going on their serve. No, the Texas defense has sided them out every time they've stepped behind the service line thus far. And the service error point to the Longhorns.
And that'll happen more when you fall down by a 13-5, 12-5 score. You feel pressure to make something happen fast, and it leads generally to more errors. The pressure to try to serve so tough that you get direct points off this very strong Texas offense.
Haley Eckerman, the first-team All-American, the Big 12 Player of the Year this season after Webster won the award last year.
Kat Bell just stuffing that, but it stays alive, and right over the block, hitting deep. That's the effective strategy for Webster.
Let's see how well she elevates on this swing. Bailey Webster
getting her chest up to height and net height, and she's going right over. So far, the physical high jumping athletes of Texas winning out easily against Oregon.
Strong serve. Bergsma out of the back. Not the pass that Eckerman was hoping for. Chance for Oregon. Dug up by Palmer at the net. Bell able to win it. Hannah Allison, the quick hitter in the middle. Nice play by Brenner. Stepping over a teammate. And an antenna contact once again for Oregon.
The Oregon offense completely out of sorts here, having to call a second timeout. Plum just couldn't get it in a good spot for Bergsma.
A big reason why the Texas block, their border patrol, has sent 5 back already.
Big time situations, okay? Big time teams step up in those situations. God, you guys got heart. You guys got so much heart. You never gave in. You believed. Okay, you made some good adjustments. Okay, and we did a great job. Not always easy. You got to get in there and battle a little bit, fight, find a way to win, and you did that tonight. Okay?
Oh yeah.
Bring on the next one. All right, let's go.
Yeah, that was a big moment for Jared Elliott and the Longhorns after they were in some trouble against Michigan, rallied to win it. And he had some really good advice for his team prior to this match today, Coach.
Ran into him just before, and he said, I'm handing you the keys. You guys are driving this bus. I'm just going to be along for the ride. But you were saying about he might be carrying a little GPS, and at least giving some directions there, some navigation.
10 and 2 on the wheel, ladies. 10 and 2 on the wheel.
Seatbelts on. Here we go.
Well, right now the bigger problem is the struggle bus that Oregon is riding in. They still have not been able to serve twice in a row and are down 10.
Nothing going right. Having a little trouble controlling the serving of Texas. Errantly placed and timed sets, hitting the ball out and into the block, and then finally serving out. And now what a great up by the middle blocker, Kat Bell.
9 hitting errors and 2 service errors already for Oregon, and long on the swing was Eckerman. Point Oregon. Let's check in with Maria Taylor.
You guys are talking about the hitting errors for Oregon. Jim Moore was really talking to his hitters about not trying to swing down the seam. They have to do a better job using the block and hitting high hands against this taller Texas team.
Thank you, Maria. And that's what Jared Elliott was talking about against the speed teams. We can't give them a high block. We got to keep the block low. Point Texas.
I think Texas has really scouted this team well. Numerous occasions we've seen, even though it's a faster offense than they've seen in their gym, they're getting 2 blockers up, 4 hands in front of hitters. Lots of trouble for Oregon.
Well, they got a good scout from watching Penn State in the semis. That Game 2 was an incredible blocking performance for Penn State, and now Texas is matching it.
And this time, Molly McCade, she even leaned the wrong way and gets back into position. She got a little faked out, but worked hard. That hard work got her back in, and another stuff for Texas.
Jacob couldn't get the pass right. Allison, quick to McCage. Brenner covers. Another block. Back set to Bergsma. 2 are up again. And they send it right back.
McCage working hard at the net. Both on this play and the last play, you could see her working hard to her left. The last time she got the step going to her right. Middles have to be able to travel sideline to sideline equally effectively in both directions. She showed it on those last 2 plays.
6 blocks for Texas. That almost matches Oregon's point. Out, put in another one. The ricochet off the face of the All-American.
And watch how fast this set is going. And McNeil shuts down the line. That ball is not in the air very long. There was a little space in the block, but McNeil shut down the line, and that's exactly what Bergsma chose to swing at.
Plum goes out to Fisher, off the block and out as McNeil could not turn it back inside. Point Oregon.
Well, we could see one of the few bright spots for Oregon. Kanace Finley, 3 kills on 3 attempts. If they can get her the ball more, they're going to get more one-on-one swings, better looks.
McNeil sliding behind, gets it over the top of the block once again. Point Texas.
And McNeil, even her teammate Bailey Webster, the All-American, says, I think the whole team has so much trust in her. Every time the ball goes to her, like on that play, they know she's going to put it away, and she's such an important part because she helps everybody be better around her. Completely out of sync here, the Oregon offense, but a nice up by Plum.
And then put away immediately by Eckerman. Everything going right point for Texas here in the opening set.
If you're Oregon, you probably got to take some solace in the fact that this happened in the semifinal when Texas was playing Michigan. They blew them out in the first, so Oregon can take some solace in the fact that they can bounce back too.
A big challenge now facing the Ducks to try and regroup. Let's see if they can get a little bit something going here late in the first set. I think this is the first time they have back-to-back serves in the entire set. The kill in the middle again. Molly McCage.
Well, McNeil put a few swings away, and so then McCage is left one-on-one. What a nice job she's done at the net for her team. Texas getting production and good touches on the ball from everybody on the floor.
Plum looking to Fisher. Palmer digs. And Eckerman terminates.
Palmer digs, but Jacobs can't answer the call. We saw those 3 fabulous digs by Palmer late in the 5th set 2 days ago against Michigan, against Michigan's star outside hitter Lexi Irwin, and that sealed the match.
Fisher extends the set. Jim Moore wants to get a substitute. I know get Bergsma out. Off the net and over. Allison looking to Eckerman. Got it down. And that'll be it for the first set for Texas and for the Oregon Ducks. They had to come back from slow starts in the regionals and in the semifinals, but this, their worst set loss of the season. And it's in the national championship match as the Longhorns roll.
What does a champion look like? Not what you might think. We come in all sizes and from every corner of the world. Equal parts skill, intellect, heart, and grit. You're looking at one right now.
Well, the All-American Bailey Webster. 5 kills for her and 3 blocks. A dominating performance by the Texas Longhorns in the opening set of the national championship match. Beth Mullins, Karch Karai, Maria Taylor also with us today. And Karch, the Longhorns owned the net in that first set.
A block party it was, and it was led by Molly McCage, but everybody took turns, and they have Oregon's number in terms of the scouting. They're taking the shots that they know. Oregon has 3 hitters who are hitting. If you hit over 300, it's like baseball. That's a great number. They have 3 hitters who are over 300 on the season and minus after set number 1. Critical that Oregon changes things around here.
Now let's check in with Maria.
Oregon's going with the same lineup, guys, but Coach Jim Moore really preached to his team that they have to trust themselves more in this second set. Not only that, continue to get after serve, saying that those service errors were unnecessary. If they can continue to stay aggressive and in the zone, they can put a lot of pressure on this Texas offense.
Well, and it's probably, Maria, going to have to start with Bergsma. The National Player of the Year was shut out in the opening set. She hit 0 for 9 with 5 errors. And as we've alluded to, it's happened now the last 2 matches for Oregon. They lose the first set, but they are able to bounce back and win the match. And immediately Bergsma gets her first kill.
I was wondering if Coach Moore would try to spin his lineup. You can have any one of your 6 players on the floor be the first server, and that can get you different matchups at the net, but he chose not to change it, go with the same matchups. Nice read by Lauren Plum up there. Oh, Finley can take a swing at that. Oh, my gosh. Not a good play.
Longhorns even it up.
Got to keep that ball in the court and make the other team beat you. Got lots of good blockers.
Allison, the junior from Siloam Springs, Arkansas. The Big 12 champions this year, the Texas Longhorns.
one of the bright spots for Oregon. Now 4 kills in 5 attempts for Kanae Finley, making up for her error on the previous play. They want to get her the ball because she's getting the best looks at the net.
McNeil able to get it between the block. We're even at 2. Look at the athleticism of the Longhorns.
And this one-legged approach allows you to travel laterally through the air. And if you keep the ball in front of you, you can see and pick out the hole in the block. She did just that for the point.
Brooks to serve. To the Oregon Ducks. They finished second in the Pac-12. Kat Fisher gets the kill. They are in the midst of the best season in school history. And they led the nation this year offensively in kills and assists. And you often, Coach, will reference their hitters like wide receivers, the way they run routes at the net.
And we just saw it with Kat Fisher on that last play that they won before the serve out, where she audibled, and they can break off their patterns based on what the opposing block is doing.
It's a very unique system that has served Jim Moore well. And off the block, what Maria talked about earlier, using that big block to get a point.
So far, Fisher having success and Kanae Finley having success. I like what Plum's doing. She's going to those 2 hitters who are getting them their kills, as Texas is keying on other hitters like Bergsma, the National Player of the Year.
Eckerman gets a swing off the hand of Williams. Point Texas. Shadair McNeil, a double-double with 5 blocks. She hit over 500 in the semifinal win. Their lone senior in their main rotation. Palmer coming off a career high in digs in the semis with 31. Bell. Brenner was there.
But impatient. She should have kept that on their side.
Ron Plum looking to Brenner off the tips. Back to Brenner. And Bergsma took a little something off and snuck through.
And that's something you can do as a hitter. That's a smart choice by Bergsma. If you've gotten blocked a few times, hit out a few times, take something off, and then the block is coming down, and they can't keep over. Then at Kat Bell, the middle blocker for Texas, #1, was coming down and not over.
Bell again over the top from Texas.
That's the stat we had to keep the other night, too. The OT over the top. Lots of hitters, not just Webster and Eckerman on the left side, but McNeil and Bell can do it on the right side.
Texas impressive in that first set, a big win. They're up 1-0. Bergsma floats in out of the back point, Texas. Well, we referenced the fact that Jared Elliott gave his team the keys to the car, and they have been driving it awfully well thus far.
I'm surprised he waited till this late in the season to do that. If it's going to go like this, you know, maybe start that in September.
Yeah, well, that's a little NASCAR he's got. A little stock car.
Good read by Bell. She was ready.
Brenner gets the kill. Point Oregon. Brenner, the sophomore from Portland. Big racquetball star as a youngster and has played 3 sports already at Oregon as Bell jumps on the overpass.
Oregon is still trying to put Kanae Finley, their tallest blocker in their middle, as an outside blocker to try to slow Webster down, not having much success.
Webster 5 kills, Eckerman 4. The Haley and Bailey show we talked about at the top, doing their thing thus far as Brenner is able to power it through the block. Now bump it to Webster. Skied that one. And off the Libro and out. Point Texas.
And again, watch Finley, the middle blocker for Oregon, goes all the way to the right. And Kat Fisher, #12, the outside hitter, is blocking middle. They're trying to shut Webster down and not finding a way to pick the lock.
Fisher There's a good quick attack from Oregon. Fast to the outside. Fisher, the senior out of Los Altos, California, and one of the more versatile talents in the country. McNeil tried to go around the block. Allison looks to Webster, and again able to beat the block.
Well, Coach Elliott, I don't know if I've ever seen him that relaxed. He was talking about getting that massage today, got a little nap in, a little different than 09 in that great final where they got up 2-0 against a very strong Penn State team, and then that team came storming back to win 15-13. He says it's a different aura about this team, and they come to work every day.
Heartbreak in the 09 finals, heartbreak in the 08 semis when they had a 2-0 lead and lost to Stanford. And they were also in the semis in 2010, lost to Penn State.
The one they really wanted was 09. They felt like they had worked hard enough and were good enough to win, and that's the team, that's the way they feel with this team. Absolutely capable of winning a title.
Jared Elliott and his staff, outstanding recruiting job they have done over the years. They've always had tremendous talent. And he fancies himself more of a manager, really. He lets his assistants do a lot. The offensive and defensive coordinators, he calls them.
And you can see him in white right there, Eric Sullivan. He is the defensive coordinator, controls. He's signaling how he wants his team to block there. Salima Rockwell, the other coach, managing the offense and the setters. And he feels like you're tremendously lucky to have a pair of quality assistants like that on his staff.
Allison looking to Cat Bell, rolled along the top and out. Point Oregon. Even at 10. Former standout at Penn State was on the bench with Russ Rose for a couple of national championships.
And there was potential as Oregon's starting to make a move here, but there was potential with those two assistant coaches. They could have been thought of as the heirs apparent at their respective school. Rockwell at Penn State under Rose and Sullivan under Coach Cook. At some point, whenever those two coaches decide to call it quits, and I don't see that happening soon. They have tremendous programs at those two schools, but they were involved in that strength.
And now it's Texas calling a timeout as the Ducks have settled down nicely. They've scored the last 3 in a row, trying to even up the match here at 1 set apiece.
Texas is...
You're watching the NCAA Volleyball National Championship, presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car. The Ohio River and the skyline for Louisville, Kentucky. Texas dominating in the opening set, but Oregon bouncing back. They've got the lead here in the second. And there's a recognizable face also in the house here in Louisville. 3-time Olympic beach gold medalist Kerry Walsh. And Maria Taylor will be talking with her during the intermission here between the second and third set. Want to remind you, too, the NCAA Championships, the coverage continuing of the FCS Football Championship on January 5th on ESPN2. For more info, visit NCAA.com, your home for all 89 NCAA Championships. We are crowning an NCAA champion here tonight. For the Ducks, it would be their first. For Texas, it would be their first in 24 years. And a big block party. Big block party for Texas in the opening set, but Oregon settling down nicely in the second. Shadair McNeil, the senior out of San Diego, serves it into the net. Well, we talked about the coaching staff for the Texas Longhorns. It's a story of matrimony on the other bench in the husband-wife combo, Jim Moore and Stacy Metro, along with Tina Johnson Lockhart, getting the Ducks here for the first time.
I'm guessing his wife feels free to give all the feedback that she wants. The players that were saying they actually love having that husband and wife combo. They say that Moore is a horrible ref when he refs in practice, but he organizes the drills. And Moore talks about how feisty Stacy was as a player. They butted heads a few times when he coached, and he says she's exactly like Lauren Plum, their setter now, who is also a little hard-headed. Sometimes she'll just run a different offense that he wants, and he'll be furious, and his wife will be laughing. Like, yep, that's what I used to do.
Plum is number 4 in green, the same jersey that her mother wore as a volleyball player. She's a second-generation netter. There is Plum with the long back set to Bergsma. Gets it down in the corner as Eckerman let that one go.
And Bergsma with 0 kills in the first set, now 3 in the second, pulling her way back into this match and becoming a factor, just as Oregon wanted, but another out serve. Fisher did it, and now Plum. You hate to have that happen. You score a point, you get a little momentum, and kill the streak. You want to make the other team earn their way out of trouble.
Jacob with the pass. McCage. Boy, able to shimmy shake her body to stay up just a second longer to tip that one over.
Yeah, Plum getting a little more deceptive here. She tried to make it look like she was going to set ahead of her. She sets behind. The blocker's too late for Texas.
Back row attack. Eckerman dug up. Plum. Quick counter to Bergsma. Point Oregon.
And if anything, Oregon has pushed the tempo even more. So in transition, they shoot that ball out. What a nice up. And now watch the speed of this set out to Bergsma. Barely over the height of the antenna. Space in the block, and she notches the point.
Ducks showing some resiliency after the slow first set. Now they're stepping on the gas. Oregon on an 8-3 run right now. They have not been blocked by Texas in this second set after the Horns had 7 in the opener. And for the Ducks, a big turnaround, Coach.
It sure is. They pushed.
Oregon on an 8-3 run right now. They have not been blocked by Texas in this second set after the Horns had 7 in the opener. And for the Ducks, a big turnaround, Coach.
It sure is. They pushed the tempo, and they only had 9 kills the whole first set. This set isn't even close to being done, and they already have 15. So cleaned up the offense. They're passing better, controlling the serving of Texas better, getting much more swings, and now they're going to make a substitution to maybe shore up their block with Bailey Webster at the net. That's a big focus of theirs. How do we slow them down?
Look at that change from negative to 481 for Oregon in this second set. Bailey Webster over the top. Point Texas. Webster now with 8 kills on 11 swings. She has not committed an error yet.
And if she's going to do that, well, if you're the setter, you want to keep going with the hot hand. Keep setting her until she cools off.
Overpass. McNeil, that was an early gift for the holidays. Point Texas.
That's one of those serves we've talked about. It doesn't count as an ace in the official and the media stats, but in my book it is, because it leads to a direct point. You want to try to keep the serve when you control it on your side of the net. Just like that. That's a perfect pass.
And the stuff by McNeil. Point Longhorns.
Fast to the outside, but McNeil gets that left hand pointed into the court. Notches another block. I think Texas first or second in this set now.
Bergsma with the tip. Good hustle.
Great hustle by McNeil all the way across the court.
Point Texas. Let's check in with Maria Taylor.
Yeah, guys, Jarrett Elliott was telling his Texas Longhorns that in order to get more blocks, they have to stay low and tight. Felt like his team was going up high and reaching to get blocks, and that's why they were getting used here in the second set.
And the first block of the second set gets them even at 17 apiece, as Texas has scored 4 straight out of that last timeout. Well, 2 of the country's premier women's college basketball teams are on ESPN coming your way on Tuesday night. Brittany Griner and the Baylor Bears taking on Megan Simmons and the Tennessee Lady Vols, their first year without legendary coach Pat Summitt on the sideline. Holly Warlick taking over for Tennessee against the defending national champs. That's Tuesday night at 8 on ESPN, also on the Watch ESPN app. Brittany Griner was last year's Honda Award winner. The Collegiate Women Athlete of the Year. The nominees for volleyball have been announced, and we've got 3 of the 4 finalists on the floor tonight. Plum and Bergsma for Oregon, Eckerman for the University of Texas. And that's the winners from 12 different women's sports that are all nominated for the Honda Cup. The last volleyball player to get that was Megan Hodge for Penn State. And the National Player of the Year, the 5th-year senior out of Chandler, Arizona, without a point in the first set. She's got 4 here in the second. She's also a beauty pageant winner. She's an outstanding student in the classroom. Reads a little Harry Potter, listens to a little Britney Spears. Very well-rounded.
And Coach Moore has talked about her as the female in the group that has all the marbles, like everything going for her. And he said, normally in a group like that, you don't want to like, you want to hate the person with all the marbles. But she's too nice, too likable to hate.
And as we are seeing, she has that ability to take over a match, or at least take over a set, which is what she is trying to do right here for Oregon. Looking to Bailey Webster. And a block by Bergsma.
That's been going over a lot, but that time the set went a little farther off the net, and Webster dragged it down, hit it right into that right hand of Elena Bergsma. She gets on the board with her first block.
And the team's first block. McNeil. Quick to Williams in the middle. Another fast attack for the Ducks.
Yeah, what nice work by Williams. You have to block, get off the net, and then you get right back toward it. Middle blockers expected to do so much and be so fast with their feet.
Looking to Webster, and that one falls on the Duck side. We're going to 25, have to win by 2. Oregon trying to even up this match after their worst set loss of the season in the opener. 25-11. Brooks serves it at Brenner. Fisher sent back but wide. Point Ducks.
And that's what Coach Elliott was talking about. He doesn't want his blockers, who are higher generally than the hitters, getting tooled, letting the block hit their arms and hit their hands and then go out of bounds. That's what happened there.
Ackerman, there's a better serve right at the net, or set, excuse me. Now serving is Sarah Palmer, junior out of Hawaii. Bergsma, dug up by Palmer. Eckerman, another big swing. Point Texas.
Wow, Eckerman going hard cross court and blasting the ball inside the defender, Kat Fisher. That's a shot that both left side hitters for Texas are easily capable of. Not many left side hitters in the country can hit that.
Good read that time by Plum to get it to Williams. Ducks 3 points from tying this championship matchup. Looking to Eckerman. Fisher down to get it this time. Free ball Texas. Tough pass, but Bell able to clean it up. Allison keeping it out of the net. McNeil. They serve the libero again. Williams missed it wide.
And she netted. Tried to swing to.
They're going to replay it.
They're saying that there were simultaneous nets. The swing by Williams and the blocker. Let's watch right here. Eckerman. No, actually it's Bell. And they both hit the net. Bell kicked the net.
Yep.
Williams swung at it. Watch Williams. She's going to swing into the top of the net.
And the foot into the bottom.
And the foot into the bottom. Simultaneous nets. They play the point over.
And Oregon gets it. Brenner with the crush.
And Brenner is so strong with that multi-sport athlete. Blasts it right around. The Oregon defenders say, we don't want to get hit by that in practice. That's the last person we want to have hit at us.
That is a heavy ball. Eckerman responds.
And that's the matchup you like. Somebody like Eckerman or Webster at Lauren Plum, the smallest blocker for Oregon.
And now Webster comes back into the lineup up front as Eckerman is back to serve.
She had some streaks in the semifinals. She's hitting this pretty hard, this jump spin serve.
Good pass by Fisher. Bergsma almost hits the scoreboard. Webster just has to play it over. Block slows it down for Texas. Webster got it. Points from 2-0. Timeout, Oregon. Yesterday, very similar for the Oregon Ducks. They lost to Penn State in the opener, needed extra time in the second set, and got it, and ended up winning the match. And now they're trying to prevent Texas from taking the commanding lead.
Texas's physicality, those tall players who also jump high, still giving Oregon lots of problems. On that last play, actually, you could see as they came down, Lauren Plum telling her middle blocker, get over, get next to me. We need to get shoulder to shoulder because they're hitting between us and hitting over me. Here's a bit of space right between the hands, and afterwards she's talking. Tell it, you can see it right there. As you can, if we run this a tiny bit longer, let the ball go through. Yep, goes through that space. And now watch Lauren Plum talking to her blocker. Come on, get to me, get to me. Close that seam. You know, it's hard when you get hit over, but at least stop the seam ball.
Yes, yes. That's our 12th tie of the set. Remember to stick around in between the second and third. Olympian Carrie Walsh-Jennings will talk with our Maria Taylor. We also have highlights and stats. And Texas coach Jarrett Elliott, we'll hear from him, the National Coach of the Year.
And that's what you like to save that timeout for, to cool off. It's like icing the free throw shooters. Cool off the server who tosses the ball high and tries to rip it across the net.
Oh, and the ace for Eckerman gets Texas a set point.
And how often have we seen in this tournament the opposite? They serve into the net, they serve out, but she rips the ace.
Fisher this time gets it. Brenner off the libero. And we will go extra now in the second. Have to win by 2.
You got Webster out there. She's been awfully, they go to her. She's been awfully effective. Right over. It's like the block's not even up in the air.
12 kills now with just the one hitting error tonight for the All-American, and another set point for Texas.
And that one hitting error was the one she just dragged down. It was her mistake more than anything into the block, the one time she got blocked.
Bergsma, the block, pops it up. Here's a chance. Look at the Webster on the outside. And they get it. Texas scores 5 of the last 6 points to win the second set. And they've been here before, up 2-0. They did not close out Penn State in the 2009 final. Can they do it here tonight against the Oregon Ducks? Longhorns a set away from a national championship.
Boy, did Texas get tough. Against a good team, it's so hard to close it out. And Webster with yet another kill, her 13th.
Let's get it now to Maria Taylor.
Coach, your team hit negative in the first set, but it seems like you gained your offensive rhythm in the second. What was the key to that change?
Well, I don't know why we came out so timid in game one. Probably just trying to control the emotions, as I talked to you before. Play better, but a couple silly things. We're making too many errors. You can't do it again, and they're making no errors, which is a tribute to them. But we're going to have to cut the errors down as well. We didn't make a lot in that set, but we're still going to have to keep playing smart. We're just going to have to fight.
What do you think the key is to cutting back on some of those errors?
Well, it's just being smarter. We're going to have to battle. We're going to be aggressive, so we're going to make some errors, but we just have to be smart. We make too many serving errors when we're not serving very tough, and so it's just we have to get rhythm serving.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.
Thank you, Maria. 15 errors, as a matter of fact, for Oregon to just 3 for Texas so far in the match, and the Longhorns are up 2-0. You're watching the NCAA Volleyball National Championship presented by Enterprise Rent-A-Car, and the second largest crowd in finals history, nearly 17,000 on hand here at the KFC Yum Center in Louisville. And so far they have watched the Texas Longhorns jump out to the 2-0 lead, led by Bailey Webster, and a huge blocking advantage at the net. I'm Beth Mowens, along with U.S. national team head coach and 3-time national champion himself from his playing days at UCLA, Karch Garai. Karch, if you're in that Oregon locker room right now, what are you talking about to try and get back into this?
They did a lot better in that, a lot of things better, but we added up the points. 20 errors they've made versus just 4 for Texas. That's 16 freebies net. They've got to cut those down, and if they do, they have a chance. The last time they came back down 2-0 was that was in August against Ohio State on their home court, but they know they can do it. They're going to have to keep those errors down and make Texas work.
Let's check in right now with Maria Taylor.
Coach, your squad had 7 blocks in the first set. How do you continue to manufacture that blocking prowess here in the third set?
Well, the blocking was really good. They changed up their tempos a little bit in game 2, and more importantly, we just got to get good quality touches. When we're getting touches, we're getting transition swings, and we're able to score at a high percentage. So for me, it's more not getting tooled as much and watching better approach patterns and picking better spots.
You mentioned that you really want to keep your middles and right side really involved. Were you satisfied with the balance that your offense had?
Yeah, I liked what our middles and right side are doing. I want to make sure that we're cautious in terms of when we're setting the middles. I want everything to align right, because Bailey and Eckerman right now are scoring at such a high percentage. So we don't need to force it. We need to find good situations where we can run it and keep them off balance.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Well, one of the things that Coach talked about this year was things don't have to be perfect in order for us to win a national championship, but it's been pretty close to that so far. They're hitting .466.
And Bailey Webster with 13 kills on 18 swings, hitting .667. Eckerman just behind at hitting a little under .500. There has just been no answer for Oregon against Webster. She's going over cross court, over down the line, over to the corner, and then she's just going over. The one time she got blocked, we saw that one negative play where she dragged the ball down into the block. When she doesn't do that, Oregon just doesn't have any answers.
Texas 1 set away from hooking a second national championship, the first in 24 years. The Ducks have a long road back. They'll try and start when we return.
One final match, one last set, one more point.
Can I get it? Why not? I've been training my whole life for this moment, and I am a champion.
She is the emotional spirit of this Texas team, according to her coaches. And Kat Bell and the Longhorns a set away from a national championship. Want to remind you, Monday Night Football continuing this week with Nashville taking on the New York Jets. The Tennessee Titans. Monday night countdown served up by Applebee's, and at 8:30 catch that AFC matchup with the Jets and Titans. Monday Night Football starting at 6:30 Eastern.
Well, the first thing you'll notice, Beth, is that neither coach has changed the matchups, not even Oregon. The main reason is they want Lauren Plum, who's at the service line, in the back row, when Bailey Webster, who's up at left front right now for Texas, is in the front row. They do not want Webster hitting against Plum. That's a bad matchup, so they avoid it.
Here is Bailey Webster. Dug up by Jacob, and they'll go out to Bergsma, and it's blocked by Bell.
Kat Bell working hard to get that lateral motion, getting Texas up to their ninth block of this match.
9-1, the blocking advantage for Texas. Good defense in the back. Free ball, Oregon. Plum out to Bergsma. Could only tip it into the block. They'll try Brenner this time, and the back door works.
Well, I like what Bergsma did to keep the ball alive, just tapping it into the block, and then Brenner using nice vision. There was about 4 feet of space on the line for her to tap.
Long way to run, but McCage got there. Point Texas.
And she has 4 kills in 5 swings, hitting a cool 800. Every single player on this team contributing to a hitting percentage that is easily about 120 points higher than their season average.
Brenner out of the back off the tape. Pancaked up by Allison. And they can't bring it back over. Point Oregon.
One of the things I think you got to say if you're the Oregon coach Moore is, look, we might be down 2 sets, but we wanted to win this tournament. We've already won 5 matches. We are so much closer to winning this than we were at the start of the tournament 3 weeks ago. We're still only 3 sets away.
Yes.
Just win these 25 points, grind it out, put a little doubt in Texas's mind.
Not only to keep the night going, but to put that uh-oh moment into the heads of the Texas players. As volleyball fans know, Texas has been here before, 1 set away from a championship, and they lost it.
And the year before, they were 1 set away from winning to get to the final and lost it against a quality Stanford team.
Jared Elliott, the head coach, called it a big old gorilla on our backs, and there's only one way to get rid of them.
They got to reframe it, though. They can't be thinking we're down 2. It's, hey, we are just as close as ever to winning this tournament that we want so much.
Chelsea Ashen on to serve for Oregon. Eckerman with a big swing.
And Eckerman touches about 10-3. She's going over Lauren Plum. And so if you have Bailey Webster at 11 feet, she's really going to go over Lauren Plum. But you can see Texas definitely targeting the blocker. And Lauren Plum's not a bad blocker. It's just that she's 5'9" and can't get up high enough to be effective.
Williams gets the kill, sliding behind. Point Oregon. You're talking about a very athletic Texas team that is getting their whole hand and wrist above the rim, if you will, on swings like that. And for Oregon, they've got to counter with speed. And right there is Kat Bell waiting at the net.
And there's a choice for Lauren Plum, who went to a hitter who wasn't very prepared to swing in Williams, and she had Bergsma behind, but she also knows that Bergsma has really been struggling this match. 6 kills, but 7 errors, still hitting minus.
contact called on Oregon, point Texas.
Texas continues to put the pressure on from the service line. We saw Haley Eckerman with a couple of big swings from that line late in the second, and now Shadir McNeil putting Oregon in more trouble.
Allison looks to Eckerman. Down the line this time as the block was leaning in.
Boy, does she see the block well on this play. Watch, there's going to be some space around the right side blocker, but the defender in the backcourt has to stay there. If they're going to leave some lines, somebody has to cover it. Neither the front court nor the back was ready for that shot.
Eckerman's hitting .444. Webster's hitting .600. And Bergsma continues to hit negative.
And those are those errors that Coach Moore was talking about. Got to keep the errors down. Can't give Texas freebies. That's exactly what they're doing now, down 8-4 in what could be the last set of the season.
And they've scored 4 in a row. The bump out to Brenner, well off the net. Eckerman dug up by the libero, back to Brenner, and gets the kill, even though she was drifting left, able to get a good swing on it.
You're right, Beth. That set went a little wide, but she made a nice correction. The one thing about running it that fast, it's a little more high risk. It's harder to locate the ball. Watch how she's going to drift left on this swing. We'll take a look at it in a minute. There it is. She's flying outside, and the block can never get there.
Brenner now with 9 kills. That ties Fisher for the team high tonight. Haley Jacob, the senior out of League City, Texas. One of the best athletes on the Oregon campus. With some of the testing that they do for all of their student athletes. As Texas gets the point.
Well, if you're Texas, you want to just keep going to Eckerman, keep going to Bailey. Eckerman, 10 kills, hitting .450. Webster hitting .600, 13 kills. They're just golden on the left side. You keep running that play to death.
And still just 3 errors the entire match. Brenner now in the double digits. She's got 10 points.
And if you're Oregon, you've got to control the serves. Texas better run your offense fast, keep the errors down, and they've talked about it all season long. They play for each other like never before. Now is the time to rely on that teamwork.
Point Texas on another service error. And you can see the frustration for Jim Moore. That's number 6 that they are giving to the Longhorns. Plum looking to Bergsma. Got it. Palmer to Allison. Here comes Webster. Fingertips slowed it down. Back to Bergsma. Tried to cut it. Good change of direction by Jacob. And Bergsma finds the floor.
That's a better swing by Bergsma. That was actually a little, because it didn't come from Lauren Plum, it was a little slower. She looked like she got a better attack, a better approach on that.
Webster slowed down again by Finley.
Finley on the outside instead of the middle, but then Webster makes the right choice and hits it inside the smaller blocker, Kat Fisher. Here's the first swing, goes into the middle blocker who is playing on the right side of the court. Unusual, they're trying to set up a better block, but then the better choice is right over and around that smaller blocker, Kat Fisher, who's 5'10". and does not touch anywhere near 11 feet.
The junior from Baltimore, who was described as both analytical and instinctual by her coach. A rarity to have those 2 words together. Usually you're one or the other. As Fisher tips it into the block and out.
I think if you're Texas, you want to just put the pedal on. They already have the keys. Get it into overdrive here. You don't want to let this team hang around. This is a very good Oregon team. They're still getting outplayed, and they got to be happy only down 2 points at this point.
Must win in the third set for Oregon, or Texas is your national champion.
Coach Elliott
thought that was down.
Yep.
Oregon keeping it alive. Chance for the Longhorns. Allison looking for McNeil. Got it. That's a point that Jarrett Elliott thought they should have had long ago.
He thought that this ball hit the floor. That looked like it was about half floor and half hand. And that, if that's the case, it's point
all floor.
Texas. Because a little floor is all floor.
Plum looking to Fisher, and that's sent right back by McCage, the freshman and the top recruit in the country coming out of high school.
Yep, you could see Lauren Plum setting that ball is outside of the 3-meter line. That's not where Oregon wants to run its offense from, so it's really hard to run it fast when she's way off the net. And here's another trouble pass. The serving of Texas is putting Oregon in big trouble, forcing another timeout.
The ace for Kat Brooks. Texas inching closer and closer to the national championship. A 2-0 lead for Texas. Half a set away from winning a national championship. Oregon trying to deny them. Well, Monday Night Football coming your way this week with Tennessee taking on the New York Jets. At 6:30, it's Monday Night Countdown served by Applebee's. Then at 8:30, it's the AFC matchup between the Jets and Titans. Monday Night Football starting at 6:30 Eastern. Haley and Bailey doing their thing as Eckerman leads the charge.
And they're not fooling anybody. They're just going to fling it up high and let Eckerman go up and over, and she has done that better in this tournament tonight than I've seen this whole season. How well she's hitting high and deep. No touches, no touches from the Oregon block. 10 kills out of 20 swings, hitting .450. And Texas finally with a second service error, so now they have a total of only 5 errors versus 25 for Oregon. That is a tough way to go about winning a national championship.
That's your story right here tonight, along with the big advantage in blocking that has had a lot to do with that. Off the block and out that time. Point Oregon.
And if you're not going to block, you got to defend. Kat Fisher that time with a nice dig, creating the scoring opportunity. Oregon's not known as a great blocking team anyway, so this is a bad matchup for them. The way they can make up for it is with better defense. We've seen some spectacular defense from their libero, Jacobs, but they're just not getting the blocks.
Eckerman tried to tip it off the block for a touch, but doesn't get it. Point Oregon. And now it's Jarrett Elliott who wants the timeout, and he'll get into the ear of the official. A 2-point Texas lead, a 2-set Texas lead. Haley Eckerman and the Longhorns having their way thus far.
The best.
Just a few miles away from Churchill Downs here in Louisville, the national championship at the KFC Yum Center. Well, fans, today's winning team will receive 60 points towards the Capital One Cup. For more information, log on to ESPN.com/Capital One Cup. For more info. Oregon in green, Texas in the white and burnt orange. First time here in the finals for the Ducks. For Texas, well, they've been to at least the semis in 4 of the last 5 years, and the last 3 did not end so well for the Longhorns. Heartbreak in a 5-set loss in the semis and in the finals in 08 and 09 respectively. Trying to close out the Ducks here and make quick work in 3 and not have to worry about a 4th or 5th.
But you know what? Those last few points in those matches you talked about, those 5-set losses, and here are the toughest to get. They are battle tested, and the only way to win one of these things is to keep coming back and knocking on the door until you just knock it off its hinges.
This road has been a little different for Texas. Hard to believe, but under the radar a little bit. They had some early season losses, and there was a lot of talk about other teams around the country. They are the 3 seed in the tournament behind Penn State and Stanford as Brenner gets the kill. And it's been more of a quiet confidence, would you say, Karch, that they come in with this time?
Yeah,
Texas.
They lost at home to Minnesota. They lost to Illinois. Some losses that would have surprised some people. Illinois not able to make the NCAA tournament after being the finalists last year and close to winning. But you're right, those early losses actually took the pressure off them a little. I think it served them well. And it also seemed that even that late season loss, the 1 in 5 to end the regular season to Iowa State, took the pressure off a little. They get a little lower seed, and here they are, ready to win Coach Jared Elliott's first title.
That was Mick Haley who won the '88 title. They've had so many terrific players in the last few years. Destiny Hooker, who was on the Olympic team, Ashley Angle, Julianne Fawcett, Michelle Coker, Rachel Adams, and these current crop of players talked about representing all of those that have come before them at Texas that have worn the jersey.
And they also talked about doing it a different way. They don't feel like they have to do it exactly the same way as the Longhorns of 08 and 09, and they're trying to carve their own path. Obviously not a bad idea because those teams came up a little bit short, and they want to get somewhere the Longhorns haven't been.
Back out to Bailey Webster. Brenner into the block, and right there awaiting her was the setter, Hannah Allison.
Well, Brenner tries to throw it in the block here, but that's too low. That's into the low hands, or the forearms, actually, of Allison. She needs to hit that higher if she's going to try to use the block to her advantage.
And the big stuff by Webster. 13-1, the blocking advantage.
And watch Bailey Webster. She just decides, I'm going to absolutely commit on this. Armpits over the net. And there was another hitter behind her, but she decided to take a chance, and boy, did it pay off big.
Texas 6 points away from the championship. Ducks will try and muster on the serve of Liz Brenner. Overpass. Point Texas. And Jim Moore looking at, hey, his player, Kat Fisher, did try and legally bring it up with any part of her body she could get on it.
You can kick it, but the referee decided that it stayed on her foot too long and called a lift.
A foot lift against the Ducks. Well, the web feet will do that sometimes. Plum, the back set, Bergsman. That was not a good connection. Now in transition, quickly, Texas. Webster dug up. Brenner out of the back. The spinner finds the floor.
And still, Oregon is hanging around. But they're going to have to create something from the service line. Coach Moore has talked about Kawasaki embracing a role. She lost the libero role, and she's gotten on some big serving streaks, scoring them points. If they ever needed one this season, it's a couple of big points from her.
Pass from Palmer. McNeil sliding behind.
Well, it starts with the perfect pass from Sarah Palmer right on the head of setter Hannah Allison, and then McNeil unloading one-on-one. That's the way Texas wants to run its offense. They set high to the left side, and they'll set fast to that player on your screen, Shadira McNeil.
Fisher. Here comes Texas again. Eckerman.
Well, she's a little excited. And I would be too if I could hit like that. Watch this. Absolute crushing the ball inside the block. Middle blocker, number 7 for Oregon, Ariana Ryan.
25 kills for Haley and Bailey tonight. And it's 3 points to a championship. Through the block for Bergsma. Point Oregon. Eckerman again.
Still only 4 hitting errors for Texas. They're averaging 4 per set. They have 4 this whole match. They've been almost perfect.
It has been quite a display. Texas hitting .432. The block just destroying Oregon tonight. And they are 2 points from that elusive national championship. Well, the NCAA FCS Football Championship will come your way on January 5th. That'll be at 1 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Check out NCAA.com. That's your home for all 89 NCAA championships. Texas coming close in 2008, 2009, 2010. A lot of heartbreak. A lot of great players wearing that jersey that did not get to take the trophy home. And now they are 2 points away from bringing it back to Austin. You don't appreciate it or you don't like it when you're going through it, but sometimes it can make it an awful lot sweeter when you finally do break through. The big start in the 09 National Championship. The Horns go up 2-0, and then the wheels fall off. Megan Hodge, Alicia Glass and company did huge comeback down in Tampa to win the title. And heartbreak for the Horns. That's that big gorilla that Jared Elliott talked about on their backs. He's looking for his first title. It would be the second in school history. Point Oregon. They've got some ground to make up. It's to 25 after win by 2.
And they have Eckerman, who's going to be hitting against Lauren Plum. It will be a shock if they don't go to her.
Instead, they go to McNeil, and now they've got championship points all lined up. Now to Brenner and the block. After years of near misses, it's a hit for the Horns and the 2012 National Championship. The 3-0 sweep for Jared Elliott and the Longhorns. And it was as close to perfect as you could get. They hit .438, a huge blocking advantage. Haley and Bailey, 26 kills. And they hold the National Player of the Year, Elena Bergsman, to 0 hitting percentage with 9 kills and 9 errors.
There's some athletes at Texas been waiting for a long time, and Coach Jared Elliott a whole lot longer.
Maria's got Coach Elliott.
All right, Coach, got your fun with you. Congratulations on your first national title in 12 seasons at Texas. Can you put into words what it feels like to get this victory?
I thought about it all day, and the players that bought into what we were doing, and the players that came before this group, and just believed in me and my staff, and our alumni were amazing. The ones that built this tradition and history, and put us in a position to recruit these athletes here. So this group has been tough. They've been great all year long, and I'm just so proud for our university and for our department.
You talk so much about this team having a mentality, or there's something special about them. What is it you think that set them apart this season and able to win a national championship?
They were just really good at their routines. We didn't give up a lot of point runs all year long, and we did early, but as the season went along, they just kind of bought into what we were doing, and they were methodical. And we just played volleyball, and we took good quality swings, and we learned how to manage our game. So when we do that, we were successful.
First time I saw you get up out of your seat was the 22nd point. Haley Ackerman goes up and gets a huge kill. That was the first big sign of emotion. Do you even feel it? Has it set in yet to you that you're national champion?
No, because I was crying today. So this means so much to me and my staff and the people that put so much into it. It's not about me. It's about those players out there that it's just so fantastic.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maria. And here's another look at match point for Texas. Fittingly, Karch, that they get it on a stuff.
They get it with their 15th block. Everybody contributed. That time it was Hannah Allison, their setter, who notched a couple herself, putting them over the top.
15-1, the blocking advantage. Bailey Webster with 14 kills. She hit 500 for the match. The most outstanding player, and the ecstasy on the Texas sideline. The national championship for the Horns. A big night for Texas here in Louisville, as the trophy will head back to Austin for the second time in school history.
If I told you I have the heart of a champion, would you believe me? How about if I show you instead? Yeah, watch me play. You'll see what I mean.
She does indeed have the heart of a champion, and now she's got the trophy to back it up. Texas, a 3-0 sweep over Oregon. And Maria Taylor now with the lone senior out there, Shadair McNeil.
Shadair, you are the lone senior on the team. Third time's the charm. This is your third opportunity at a national championship. Can you put into words how you feel right now?
It's almost indescribable right now. Like, I can't even talk. I'm so excited. I'm glad for my team and just ending it like this.
What was going through your mind, the 22nd point? You could start to feel that you knew you were going to be a national champion.
Basically, I was numb at the moment, but it was an awesome feeling just knowing that we were almost there.
And you guys talked so much about this was the team that was going to be able to do it. What did you feel that this team had that was going to bring you home the championship?
Just our team chemistry and the energy that we provided on the team. Everyone just loved each other, so it was a great season.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Maria. Now the Oregon Ducks, a tremendous run. Their first trip to the national championship match, the best season in school history for them. They'll have a hard time replacing three seniors that were so critical to their success this year, including the National Player of the Year, Elena Bergsma. And as Maria referenced, the only senior for Texas, McNeil. Everybody else will be coming back with another stellar recruiting class, as the Horns will try and make it 2 in a row next season. But for now, they're going to enjoy this one, and well-deserved, Karch, with the performance tonight.
near perfect. To have almost 90 swings, 89 swings, and have only 4 hitting errors is easily the best performance of the season for Texas, and it came at just the right time.
And how about the block that they threw on the Ducks here tonight? Very impressive at the net.
They won the game in every category, 15-1 in blocks for this match. Every single athlete, from their middles, all their wing blockers, contributed to shutting down this very potent and fast-paced Oregon offense.
And interestingly enough for Texas, their middles and their right sides played well in the semis. It was the 2 outside hitters. Their percentage wasn't what they usually hit, but tonight it was all about Haley and Bailey for the most part, combining for 26.
About 500 between them. That is astronomical. If you're a hitter, you're very happy with 300 on the left side, and they just kept going over.
Kudos to the supporting cast as well. They did a lot of things right, and Webster winning the most outstanding player trophy here.
And how do you not, when you have 14 kills on 26 swings, 1 error, a cool 500. Oregon just had no answer against her, no matter who they put. And they put lots of blockers in front of her. Couldn't get any touches. Oregon's hope was to at least touch the ball and get it up in the air, not to stuff it.
Well, and the other thing, too, for Texas, of course, we talked about what they've been through the last few seasons and some of the moments of heartbreak. Really, the composure never cracked at all in that second or third set when Oregon put some heat on them.
And Coach Jared Elliott talked about, I don't want it perfect. We're just going to figure out a way through. They won some ugly matches this year, and that really served them well. They seemed as relaxed as I've seen them in the last 4 or 5 years in the off-season or in the postseason. Finally, this 5th knock on the door, they did it.
It's been a tough year, too, for Jarrett personally, and what a moment for him, able to enjoy this with his own children as well as his Longhorn family, as Texas wins its first national championship in 24 years, the 2nd in school history, and the Longhorns have a title to take back to Texas. The Longhorns celebrate match point and the sweep over Oregon. 25-11, 26-24, and then 25-19 to end the drought and take home the title. Coming up next, Holiday Hoops. It's Kansas State and Nebraska. For Coach Cry, Maria Taylor, I'm Beth Moen. So long from Louisville, Kentucky, and your 2012 national champs, Texas.